There has been a misconception that when you end up having menopause that you have no bleed. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what it means to have menopause, how it affects you for the full moon and new moon, plants to support you, and also a little bit about the history and the energetic meaning of having and going through menopause. This is something that I notice with a lot of my clients. They tend to come back to me again and again saying, "Hey Shika, I notice you talk about periods and menstrual cycles and how it affects the new moon and full moon, but what about us? What about when we have menopause?" So I hope that this video is able to help you bring clarity and understand the true meaning of menopause. So years ago, it was said that women didn't actually have such a long menopause period. It's only in the recent years that women within their 40s and sometimes earlier and 50s were stepping into what we like to call the wise womb. The wise womb is when you start to move out of bleeding on a physical level, but becoming a leader, becoming an elder for other younger women to come to you and ask questions, to come to you for support. It is essentially like being a priestess of the womb. It is essentially being this medicine of the womb to help others that may have questions about birthing, may have questions about menstrual pain, may have questions about various things like this. This is what we used to do back in the day, and it has been lost. And the reason why today so many women are ending up having menopause at such an early stage is one, the attack on fertility. How many things, whether it's in our food, our processes, the air, the chemtrails, goes on and on. This is why we have so many women having menopause so early, or even the symptoms of menopause early. This is why the infertility rate in the body has been skyrocketing. It's because there is an out of balance in the feminine collective and also in women right now. So as I mentioned, menopause is a rite of passage. What does that mean? It means that this is an opportunity for you to connect to the wisdom and the essence of your womb. And in this time, you actually have an energetic bleed. So that means that your physical body isn't going to bleed, but you're still going to have a spring, summer, fall, and winter in your seasonal menstrual cycle. As we know, our fall is that time before a bleed. We feel very introspective, we are much slower, our cravings increase, and this is where we're processing and preparing for our body to grieve, our body to drop this blood as a grieving and a clearing, and also cleansing not only ourselves through this cycle, but also every person we live in the household. A lot of people don't know that, right? Now, the second part of that is our spring, and that is after the bleed. This is when we're in ovulation, we're moving into that ovulation state, our energy is peaking up, we're feeling more movement, we're more inspired, there's new ideas, new beginnings coming in. And then we have our summer, where we feel amazing, we feel connected to our sensuality, we're more playful, we're more joyful, and this is that energy where we bring in. So what you are going to do is you're going to actually have a journal, and this journal is going to be the connection to your wise womb. And what that looks like is you're going to write down every single day how you feel. So how am I feeling? And if I were to be a season, what season would I be? What are 2 words that you will explain your womb to feel like right now? And what are you feeling internally with your womb? By breathing with your womb, placing your hands on your lower belly, having a meditation for just 5 minutes every single day. What this is going to do is connect you with your womb deeper on an energetic level. After 2 months, which would be a 2-cycle period, you're going to start to notice relatively when you have your 21-day cycle, 23, 24-day cycle. And you're just going to play this as your body is on its bleed. So you're going to probably not do a lot right before you're on your bleed and in your fall season. You're probably going to be more inspirational and want to do creative endeavors during your spring and your summer. So it's your responsibility as you move into this wise womb to understand your energetic bleed. And once you do that, then you can start to connect with what moon cycle is my womb rippling at. So maybe then you can start to notice what cycle your womb starts to ripple at. So for example, if you notice that your bleed is around the full moon or new moon, then you can connect with what that means to you. Now I want to talk about the plants that are here to support you during your menopause. What are some plants and allies that are very supportive to help you not only with your menopause in the process, but also for those of you that are in premenopause to help and support you and support the health of your womb as well. The few plants that I really connected with, and one that is really popular, and if you have a pen and paper, you might want to write this down, black cohosh. Black cohosh is a beautiful plant. It is historically known for cooling the body and for hot flashes. You can have this as a tea, some people have it as a supplement, and this can be really great before the menopause season, but also during at that beginning stage when your body is now transitioning out of a bleeding womb into an energetic wise womb. The second one is ginseng. Ginseng is an amazing plant for allowing you to rebalance your hormones and bring warmth to the body. Now you may be asking, well, I'm having hot flashes, why would this be important? It's because we want to balance the heat in the body. Don't want to make you too cold because then your womb is going to be really cold. The womb wants to feel some warmth, right? So it's going to clear and cleanse and purge energetically all the moon cycles that you weren't able to fully hold yourself, grieve, all the traumas that you weren't able to process, miscarriages, abortions, painful periods. Maybe you didn't have a space at a time during that time to do that, and now this is like a really big soul retrieval for you. Ginseng can really help balance the energies of your body, and if there is any blocks in your womb before you move into this transition, you can clear that before moving into being a wise womb. Maca. Maca is amazing. It's one of my favorite plants, and I love all of the colors. I love the white, the red, and the black. And they say that each one has different properties, which I won't go too deep into, but any of the maca that you can get your hands on, the most popular one is the white one, is really, really great for, balancing the hormones. It's amazing for supporting you with energy. So if you're feeling really depleted through the process of the premenopause or menopause process, it can really support you into that as well. It's also really great for emotional balance. So if there are any emotions that are coming up as you go through this process, a lot of women that are going through premenopause or menopause end up having a lot of lucid dreams. Please write them down. Those dreams are actually guidance and wisdom for you as you move into this wise womb. Peppermint and sage. Peppermint and sage are amazing allies. What this helps is it helps with hot flashes to cool the body and hormone imbalancing as well. So for example, for those who have hot flashes, a great combination would be ginseng, sage, and peppermint, because you have the warmth of the ginseng for the balancing of the hormones, peppermint, and they work really well together. And then you have the sage to cleanse your womb, and it's very supportive for you and for protection. So one of the biggest things as you move into this new cycle of your life, and for a lot of people when they hit menopause, they're actually in their second Saturn return. Your second Saturn return is actually when you go through a full life change. So think about what your Saturn return was in your late 20s to your 30s, early 30s. Usually people have it 28 to 35. And that includes the shadow period after and the pre-shadow period of the Saturn return. If there were times where maybe at that time you didn't even know about Saturn return, maybe you weren't even into that, now you're like, oh my gosh, Saturn return, this is very interesting. This is where you understand the big life changes. So this is where some people, maybe a loved one passes away or a partner passes away. Maybe your life changes with your career. Maybe now you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe you're retiring. So think about where you are then as opposed to where you were in your late 20s and 30s, right? And there's a whole version of you in between that, whether you became a wife or you became a partner, or you have kids now, or whatever it is. There's a whole version of you that's in that space that is needing to grieve and clear with the menopause period. See how powerful there's so many layers to the menopause that a lot of women don't know, and it's very important to understand and to connect with. So this is a rite of passage with the sage. It's to cleanse and to support and to connect you with your intuition. That is going to be an upgrade into this wise priestess energy of the womb. Now let's go into how to work with the moon cycle with the menopause as well. Now, I feel like this was very important to go over these things to support you in your guidance, and now we're moving into this part. Now, new moon we know is all about new beginnings. It's about family. It's about environment. It's about home. It's about safety. It's interceptive, right? So once you know your energetic bleed, you can then connect it with what moon you're actually closest to. This is also an opportunity for you to understand what this means if you are bleeding energetically with the new moon. And that means this is where you're thinking about family. So there's a lot of changes maybe going with your family dynamic. Perhaps, your loved ones are far away or close to you. Maybe this could be like your home. Maybe you're moving into a new home. Maybe you're thinking of moving into a new home. Maybe you're thinking of a new life of what home looks like for you. Maybe there's actual construction happening in the home when you're doing upgrades. There could be different things that's going on around home. Now, on a non-physical level, this could be home to you. Maybe you're having a feeling of like where you feel at home, and maybe you've had a big revelation and awakening of what that means to you, and it's not what it is right now. And this is an opportunity for you to use that wise wisdom of the years that you've had in the past as your encyclopedia to who you were and the versions of you and the many women you were and the woman you were becoming. And this is kind of like a rite of passage of a new life. It's starting a new story with menopause. It's moving into being the elder for not only you, but for your community. And people are going to go to you for guidance. People are going to go to you for support. People are going to go to you to look up for information and on family, loved ones, and all of that. And you're probably already noticing this now, that you are a sense of home for a lot of your kids or family or your community or the people at work. There is this wisdom that you hold that is your womb that is carrying that energy. And you teach people how to embody. You also are learning how to embody yourself in this time. You're learning how to age with beauty and grace, and how beautiful that process is as well. And I think there's so many negative connotations around this, whether it's the appearance of a woman, how she should present herself, how they should present themselves. And I think we really need to focus on, this is a process where you decide to be yourself. This is an opportunity for you to be in this chapter, be so comfortable with yourself for all the years that you weren't able to. And it brings this deep sense of safety and reclamation in yourself, which is so beautiful to witness as well. Now let's go into the full moon. The full moon is more focusing on your external presence. So how the world sees you, how your family, loved ones, and your coworkers see you as well. So this is where you're focusing maybe a lot of your energy on work, understanding life. This is where you create a space of, what do I want to create in the next years of my life? And this is beyond your midlife for some people, right? I don't want to say midlife because I don't want to create resistance as to how many years one should live, because I believe humans can live beyond the years we were told, especially right now with the collective consciousness, but I digress. This is about you understanding that, where do I want to be in these elder times of my life? How do I want to walk? What is a ceremony of life that I want to create? Maybe for some of you, you are moving into, I don't like to say retirement. Retirement equals fully living life without the means to an end. That you've done that before. That you've spent a lot of your time doing that. Now you're bringing a new, mature consciousness. But life is more than just the material stuff. And if you are in the stage of menopause where you are feeling imbalanced in life, you're going to go through maybe more physical withdrawal or physical symptoms, because you're purging the life of you running around, running away from yourself. And now you're being called to sit down and sit with how I want to present myself that feels true to me. So it's all about testing that aspect of foundation. And I know a lot of people who do start to connect with the full moon or the new moon now, or they're reconnecting with it in their years now. This is a time where their life that wasn't conscious before starts to grieve, starts to be let go. And you are stopping to think about how you should be perceived and all the things you've done. But rather you are now connecting. And I just saw 3 birds fly, which to me represents you. It represents your past self, your present self, and your wise woman self. And they were in a triangle, which is the trifecta, right? So it's a trifecta of understanding that all parts of you are coming into a fold. And it's such a beautiful moment for you. And the full moon, when having an energetic bleed, is an opportunity for you to ask yourself, what life do I want to co-create with those 3 trifectas of myself in this present time? And I see your present self, the point bird, and then the other 2 in the past and the future. And they all work together as one in one presence. And it's a really big second solar return moment for you. And I want you to think about, what are the big life changes? If you want want to share in the comments, what are the biggest life changes that have happened for you during your time with your menopause, and how are you shifting right now? So if you enjoyed this video, let me know down below, and I'd love to do a Q&A. I'd love to have more of a conversation of questions you have about this, because people aren't talking about this. People aren't talking about the true meaning of menopause and what it means to connect with that, with your moon, your full moon, new moon, plants, healing, and the essence of it. And it really is something that was revered as a big rite of passage as much as your bleed. And it's been underlooked. And we need to now see this as a beautiful ceremony in itself. And I'm just celebrating you taking the time to watch this, taking the time to, you know, really reclaim something so beautiful that maybe other women in your past haven't been able to a remembrance that this is a passage, a rite of passage for you. And I'm sending you so much love on this journey, guidance. And for those of you who want to learn more, want to work more with support and consultation, healings, I can support you in 2 ways. The first way is through one-on-ones. I do one-on-one healings and also consultations for support for those who would like guidance in this time of their life. And the second one is I do retreats. So I do host one-on-one, I host as well small groups, and I host dieta retreats that are in the Amazon with the indigenous elders, which is a great opportunity for you to connect with that wisdom as well, and doing diets and connecting with the healing that you are. So I bring people to come and sit with them and really receive the wisdom of the plants and the medicines that are here, and to come back to remembrance of yourself and your womb. So I hope you enjoyed this, and again, if you're interested in that, you can just send me an email at shikachica.com. You can also book a one-on-one through there as well, and I'll see you in the next one.